It was like a zombie, like a bolt of lightning going through you, and you went back on the floor, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was thinking, is she dying? Like, I literally don't know what's happening.
Did you really think I was dying?
And then
my mum told me that they were actually testing for leukemia.
fuck you want some, do you? Taliban? Hello guys, it's me, Jaack Mate. Welcome back to Jaack Mate's Happy Hour podcast. Stevie, white.
And again. Yeah.
I loved it.
I really liked it the first time as well.
That's good. And we've got the first female on the face of planet Earth joining us here. No, I don't mean she is the
I
first.
am Eve.
No.
I am Eve.
No, I don't mean you are the first woman to ever exist. Because
Do you want to just introduce me?
No, because if you were the first woman to exist, I'd have probably not been with you.
Why?
Because he didn't exist.
No, but no.
No, that's not the reason.
Because
Why?
if you're just settling for the first woman you ever meet, it's got to be better out there.
Hi, my name's Fiona, and I'm on the podcast today.
You never stay with the first person you meet, do you? Because you always think, what if there's a riper apple round the corner?
Ah,
But you're my ripe apple.
thanks.
You're the ripest he's found.
Yeah, so far.
Oh, God. So we've been together 4 years.
We have indeed.
This is, for anyone that doesn't know, who's not a fan of the channel, as if. Fiona is my fiancee.
Fiancé. It sounds so pretentious.
It does sound pretentious, is what I mean. It makes me cringe.
I when you first proposed and it was new and fresh, now I'm just over it. But when you
Wow. Well, I'll have that ring back then, please.
Chang. When you first proposed, obviously I was like I was talking about my fiance, and it was all so exciting. Now I say it, and I'm just like, he's my boyfriend. He's my boyfriend.
Is it fiancé for both? Like,
Yeah.
Or is it
Yeah,
fiancé?
Fiancé.
but I'm a fiancé.
What?
I don't know.
No one says it like that.
No, but there's a different.
One E or two E's, but
I feel like,
pretty sure
I
it's
feel like you're the
pronounced
fiancé and he's the fiancé.
I'll be a fiancé. I don't mind that. It sounds pretty good.
Pretty
Fiancé.
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 Look how fiancé he looks today. I like it. I'm so alone.
But no, it is what doesn't make you cringe now.
It doesn't make me cringe.
I'd really cringe if I was engaged to you. So.
Oh, wow, that's not a good way to speak about Fiona.
Oh wow! Ridiculous.
Honesty.
What we thought we'd do is a lot of people on YouTube and Twitter and the ilk say that they've requested you. You're probably been the most requested guest we've ever had on the show.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
That's mad.
2 whole
I
tweets.
have nothing. What did you say?
2 whole tweets.
Nobody else cares.
My mum and dad.
Yeah, no. So welcome. What's it
Thank
like?
you.
I obviously force feed you every episode I do of this.
Of course.
I mean-
I do listen to them of my own accord.
When you said what's it like, I thought your first question to was going to go, so what's it like being engaged to me?
You were going to say that.
Wait.
Get rid of that question.
Delete the question. I've got written down there. No, what's it like being in the studio that you've watched for you've been a huge fan of for such a long time?
It's very strange to be here.
It's hot, isn't it? That's the one thing people can't see.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
fucking hot
I
in
am
here.
sweating.
Yeah, but like when we did an episode last week with Doody Rhino and Chris MD, and it was so because it was hot outside as well. It was like sunny outside.
Yeah.
We had that weird end of February heat wave, and Jesus Christ, it melted me.
Yeah.
Glad I didn't come.
No, yeah, I know. But it is like a sauna in here sometimes,
It's
guys.
boiling. Yeah.
So we
Boiling.
do work for our art. We struggle for our
It's
craft.
just a bit strange being in here and seeing all the cameras everywhere.
As somebody that's been with a YouTuber for a long time now, are you okay with cameras in your face?
You'd think that. I've been on your channel a couple of times. I'm used to you filming around me, and I'm in little Instagram videos and Twitter videos and stuff. I never get used to it.
You
ever.
don't really have any social media, though,
I
do you?
don't have any social
Which is
media.
really weird. That's
Yeah.
very rare for a
I-
YouTuber not to be like, this is my girlfriend, go
Yeah.
follow her here.
Yeah.
And then you post on everything about
Yeah.
your lives outside of YouTube.
Yeah,
A
but
lot of people find
rare.
that baffling, and I see all the comments on your Instagram. Like, say you post a picture of me and you, the comments will be like, "Oh, what's Fiona's Instagram?" And it's I don't have any
It's 'cause he
social
doesn't tag
media.
anyone.
that's just true, Geordie as well. What's her fucking Instagram then?
Oh dear.
No, but I kind of like it. I kind of find that pretty cool.
People say why, and I'm just like, why not?
Effort, innit?
Don't have social media.
That is really cool, though. That is really cool, and it's effortlessly cool. Like I used to have a mate that I say used to because I've I think he's a dick now. He just one day decided he didn't want social media.
I know who.
But do you know what I mean?
Straight away.
Yeah. But because he would do anything to try and seem cool. Do you know what I mean? So he'll like
OTT.
yeah, he'll go backpacking like and just look out at a lake for a photo. It's me looking at a lake. Hashtag travel mysterious. It's Whitlingham Lake in Norfolk, mate. But yeah, so I find that very cunty, but you do it in a very natural. You do, from the moment I've met you, you didn't.
Yeah,
have
you've
social
just
media.
never cared.
Fiona will just lay there, and I cannot.
Okay.
She'll just lay there and take it.
Think of England. No, Fiona will constantly, and I can't stress this enough to anyone out there that maybe think I'm over exaggerating. I am not. Fiona will lay there and scroll through her phone and go on Reddit and read all that kind of stuff, which I've never been on. But you will also lay there and watch GIFs and videos
For hours.
of animals for hours.
Yeah, but
mate.
you just look like, come on your Twitter, it's just boring stuff like, I don't know, the football score or something. Why don't you want to see like a capybara swimming?
Oh, are you saying that the things
That's
Jaack
a
follows?
Capybara. That's a capybara, isn't it?
It's a capybara.
Oh, is it
It's the
capybara?
world's largest rodent. It looks like a giant guinea pig.
Yeah.
I want one.
But irrelevant. Are you saying what he follows? So every time he's scrolling, all he sees is like football
But
scores
like,
and stuff.
it's just social media in general. Here's a little rant. You spend a lot of your time on social media because it's your job.
Mm.
But a lot of what you absorb through your social media
Is waffle.
is absolute waffle.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
It's 'cause
right.
I follow
spend...
I'm Alex. No, I'm joking. Beans are funny. No, I know what you mean. Like, I got that little thing that comes up on iPhone now, screen time. Yeah, and it tells you how much
How
It's
much you've been on your phone.
horrific. How
Oh,
much
yeah.
you are on
Fuck me.
Twitter, Facebook, etc.
Me and
What's yours, roughly?
Shall we have a look now?
Yeah, how'd you get to it? Because I'm intrigued. Because I use my phone a lot, but then when I'm at work, I can't use it. So
Right. So, for anyone out there that's listening now,
how'd you get to it?
It's actually horrific.
go
Jack
settings,
stuff.
then go screen time. I want you guys to be having a mental think, because how else would you think about what kind of screen time you think me and Stevie will have. I've got mine up. I've got my last 7
I
days.
feel
here.
like
Where-
Stevie's will be.
So
Is it for the last 7 days?
how'd you
It
get the
doesn't
last
say how
7
many-
days?
How many hours?
I won't
right?
look at. I won't look at your time. I won't look at your time because I don't want to look. So you go iPhone, and then you go last 7 days is there, right? So,
Okay.
Fiona, right? What do you think is my? Oi, Jesus Christ! I've got all giddy. What do you think is my average screen time per day?
Per day, right? So it's 20.
Sorry,
Okay.
but this isn't even screen. This is specifically iPhone time.
Right.
Imagine the times I'm on my computer
Yeah,
as well.
yeah,
But
yeah.
for the sake of the game, let's do specific phone usage.
iPhone screen time. Right. So in a day, yeah? So
Yeah.
it's 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
You sleep for 8 hours. That leaves.
16.
Thank you, Stevie.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
That's what I'm there for.
16 hours.
Yeah.
You eat for about 2.
Down to 14.
It's a long time to eat. 2 hours.
Three different meals, though. Cooking as well.
Yeah, they don't take
snack.
35 minutes
Cooking.
each.
Do you know this man?
Microwaving as well. Ordering,
Deliveroo.
Yeah.
which is screen time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
exactly. Oh, it's gonna be horrific. I feel like the amount of time you spend sleeping is equal to the amount of time you spend on your phone.
So you're saying 8 hours roughly a day.
Roughly 8 hours.
You know when you say to someone like guess something and they overshoot it and then it
Yeah.
makes the original thing look
Look
less
not
than
as
it
bad,
yeah. Yeah. Maybe you should say 4. It's actually 6 hours 15 minutes a day.
Bloody hell.
But
Well,
then you've got
if
your
we-
laptop on top
If
of
we're
that.
going to be specific, I use my phone for 6 hours 14 minutes a day on average. Are we going higher or lower for Stevie?
Lower.
I think you'll be surprised. Now, I do think it's lower.
Okay. But
But-
it won't be much lower.
I think it's lower because he works, and with the job he does, he can't be on his phone much. So I
No.
think that'll bring his average down. But then I also think that when he's away from work, he'll really boost that back up.
Yeah.
I think he'll be on it from the moment he leaves work to when he sleeps.
Yeah,
Right.
so I public transport because I've never decided to learn to drive. So
Yeah.
every time I'm on the bus, I
You've
just sit
got
on my
your
phone
free
the whole time.
Exactly.
This is a hard one. I might think it's actually
4.5.
near my.
is my
I think 5 hours 42.
What?
Fuck off.
5:40.
Oh.
5 hours 40.
What a guess.
That's
You saw
mental.
that.
No, we
I didn't see it.
He
I didn't click on 7 days.
No, he was just on today, which
That
is 4
is-
hours 40. So
that is
That's
mental.
So like
strange.
mine goes up a little bit for travel to London. Obviously, I'm sat on my phone the whole way here,
Mm.
and then travel home as well. So on a day like today, like we're only halfway into the day,
Yeah.
I'm on 4 hours 40.
That
like,
is
it's
insane.
so that's gonna make it big. But then my actual thing is games, 7 hours.
What? Really?
And I
A
only play
day?
one game. No, like for the
You
week.
had to check then.
For the
A
week.
Mine's Twitter, 7
What
hours.
game, Stevie?
What's your social networking for the week?
It's gonna
20
be
hours.
Yeah,
Oh my
1946.
God. Think of all the other things you could be doing.
Mine would have been
No,
less.
like,
You could be looking at animal pictures. Come
Mine would have been
on.
less, but Jack started telling me to like actually put effort in and
Yeah.
tweet from the account and stuff. So I was like,
True.
takes hours to do a
So-
tweet.
So, if you are out there and you've got an iPhone and you don't know about this app and you've got the latest iOS, go to General, then click Screen Time, then click your username and then iPhone.
And do you have more or less than us?
Yeah, let us know. Tweet us at Jack's Happy Hour or leave a comment on this very YouTube video if it exists.
Hashtag ad. Sounds like you're trying to promote screen time.
Been in touch with old Steve Jobs. He's got me a well good brand.
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah.
I hate to break it to you, but he's passed away.
Fiona, so
Hi.
we've spoken about your social media and stuff, but I think we should just go back to the start. Back to life.
Where were you born?
How was your dad's conception of you?
Pardon?
Does that make sense?
How was it?
What
I don't think she involved it.
sentence was
I
that?
When
don't
you
know.
were the little seaman, how did you feel that day?
Oh, well, my day went swimmingly.
Hey,
Hey.
banter, banter, banter.
You can tell
No,
she hangs out with you.
How did we meet?
Do we have to say? Can I?
Can't we say this is a three-way? No. We were
can-
all there.
We were all there.
I
This
was
is,
there the day you guys met.
Yeah.
The night.
Yeah.
The night, yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to say it was lovely and romantic. I want to say that I saw him from afar and
My
he
golden locks glistened in the light of mantra.
Yeah, we met in a nightclub
We didn't.
in Norwich.
And it's a bit of a
My main thing I remember about that night is we weren't going to go out. We chose to last minute, and the entry
Yeah,
was
thi-
ridiculous.
This is crazy. Okay, so Jack will probably butt in and tell the story because you know the details. But you've told me this. Jack and Stevie were not meant to be out that night, and I wasn't really meant to be in that place at that time. So
No.
it's just by pure whatever you want to call it.
I do have one question I've never asked you about that night. Were you out alone? Because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure we didn't speak to anyone else
Yeah.
that you were with.
Your
I
fr-
was not alone.
Your friend had left you though, no?
We didn't meet anyone else
I
that you were
can't
with.
remember what happened, but I was out with
Yeah.
another friend.
You must have
and
had to be drunk to be with Jack.
That Hypnol lasts a long time, doesn't it?
So I was with a friend on a night out, and I think it was getting late when we got into Mantra.
We didn't
into
go
the
in there until
nightclub.
gone midnight because I remember paying £20 to get in, which is normally
Yeah.
£5 entry.
Yeah.
And we were pissed.
So I was out with a friend, and I somehow got into the nightclub without the friend, and I spotted.
Your friend
You
wasn't
see?
your carer though, so what do you mean? I
Somehow got
without
in.
them?
Because it's strange when two girls are on a night out, you don't just leave each other and go
No,
to separate clubs.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
It seemed like I'm not a believer in fate. I'm not a believer in any of that kind of like weirdness. But I think if there was any reason to believe in something like that, then that is a good example because there was 4 things. Because one was I was at yours before, your sister's. Do you remember? I think we were.
I don't know why I'm not saying yes. We're on a podcast.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Words.
So we were at yours and your sister's. Your sister was going to come back from like a meal or something because it was just after Christmas. So I think she was doing the Christmas type thing. And we would then due to then leave. We're babysitting your nieces and we were going to leave and go out. But your sister came back like an hour and a half late. So it was like 1 a.m. or 12:30. So we were like, why the fuck would we go out now? It's like December the 29th.
And then we
Yeah,
realised
this
we're
is
us.
in the middle of winter.
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
before Christmas.
Oh yeah, you're right. Actually,
Maybe like the 15th to the 20th.
I feel like you
Yeah.
guys should remember the
you
day
are
you
right.
met.
I think it was the 15th actually, because I think I
remember.
looked back on my Insta to find a photo that I posted from that night to find out. But yeah, so we went out. The taxi almost didn't come. Do you remember? We had to then order a second one. I remember
can't
this.
remember this
Yeah,
much.
I remember little things from nights like that. And then we got to the place. I think I don't know if that was our first choice or not, but it was about to close. No, that's it. It was about to close, but he said if you want to get in now, you have to go in now because there's like an hour left. And then he said it was 20, and we went, now fuck that, and walked off. And I was so like, we're already here now that we ended up paying. So all the stars aligned, and then we met. You came over to us, didn't
I
you?
did, yeah. I approached you guys
Why?
because I fancied you.
That can't be
She
true.
recognised me.
Yeah,
I-
yeah.
Why can't
She
that
was a
be true?
big
Look
fan.
At him.
Big fan of hip to be a
Look
hipster.
at me. You're sexy.
Oh, it's so hot.
Yeah.
For anyone that's listening, Jack just went cross-eyed.
Yeah, I just done an ugly face. Oh, it's just me. Yeah.
No, so I recognised you. I remember my first thought was, oh, I know him, my second thought was, bloody hell, he's tall. Because something, I'm sure you get that a lot. I know you get that a lot. But something you can't see when Jaack does online stuff, you can't see how tall he is.
No, people say that all the time.
Yeah.
Every time you get met by anyone. And
Yeah.
I'm just like there, it's like, I'm not even short.
No.
Like, I'm 5'11", with shoes on, I'm pretty much 6 foot.
Yeah.
And then next to Jaack, I still look tiny.
I love how
Exactly.
anyone that's any male that's 5'11"
Is 6 foot,
has a reason
basically.
to be 6 foot.
Yeah.
Like, I was
Normally
just-
it's my hair. so it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I was just on a stag do with my uncle who's getting married, and he was like, "I'm 5'11". He was like, "It kills me that I'm not 6 foot."
It is fucking shit.
Is
Like,
it?
because it's an inch difference, and an inch isn't that much, no matter what you girls say.
This is what I always say. Like, fake it till you make it. If I was 5'11", yeah, I would just say I'm 6. Who's
Yeah,
getting
because
the,
who's getting the measuring
who's getting
tape
the
out?
fucking ruler out? Yeah.
Everyone, it's obvious.
Yeah.
Well, it's because when people are like, when girls are like 5'5", they can tell that inch makes a difference.
Can they?
That's why I just quiff my hair up.
Really?
Is that
Inch.
the reason?
No.
Oh.
What, so do you want to be 6 foot?
I'd
do you?
want to be 6 foot because
For
that's just
what
easier, isn't it?
reason?
Oh, I'm 6 foot.
What-
Not
what-
I'm 5'11".
Well, I don't think that having to say you're 5'11" is not easy. Like, that's a chore.
My shoes tend to have an inch heel on it, just
Oh.
purposefully.
Is it
6
really?
foot. No, I just like these shoes. But yeah, 6 foot.
like
I'm 6
them?
foot.
Just say that you're 6 foot.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I will from now on.
I'm-
But basically, Jack's tall.
I'm 6 foot. I'm between 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah, I'd say you're more than 6'3", actually.
Yeah. I feel like you're half a foot taller than me when you're next to me.
Really?
And then every time you've invited someone onto this bloody show, the one I missed, Chris MD, looked short as anything.
He's a very short guy. Very
and then
short guy.
everyone else, Bobby Misner was about 7 foot.
Yeah, he was tall. he was
Fucking
tall.
true Geordie.
Wow.
Like,
Is Geordie's taller than me?
yeah,
isn't he?
Lawrence was tall.
Yeah.
KSI was short. That was kind of it.
That
Like,
picture on it that you posted on Instagram of you and KSI looks tiny.
Yeah.
he was
So,
shorter
see,
than me.
I
so-
look bigger than KSI, and then when you put me next to Geordie, I look like a baby.
So I want a photo with KSI and Geordie next to each other. I
Yeah.
haven't seen one.
Well, no. 'cause
Well,
if
they'd
you-
be everywhere,
if you-
surely.
If you watch the boxing, Geordie's the sort of.
What you
doesn't
really
matter.
want is
Doesn't
True
matter.
Geordie next to Alex, which
Yeah.
which we've had.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So so you came over, you recognised me.
And I also recognise Stevie.
Yeah, that was
and-
weird. I remember this because this is one of the first times. The first thing someone says to me is my name. Like, you came up and was like, Stevie White? And I was like, yeah.
I feel like, I don't know if you two remember, I feel like I said something to Stevie first.
Did you?
It was like 3 months after Hip to Be a Hipster was released,
Was
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because that was the year we released that. So anywhere we went in Norwich, it was
Yeah,
kind of
you introduced yourself as Stevie, the rapper.
I am the rapper.
Did he say that? Oh, fuck. I was gonna
I
say,
wish I was.
I would have just got up and left if I found out that's how you introduce yourself.
I still do.
Oh, fuck me.
Stevie the rapper.
Stevie the Nutter.
The Nutter.
That's a reference to a podcast that might not even be out yet.
Oh, see,
There
every
we go.
every week.
Yeah.
You warned me, yeah.
But then, because otherwise, if you do that and it gets a laugh, people are going to be sat there going, "The Nutter, what the fuck?"
Why
does
is
that
he
mean?"
laughing?
And I want people to know I'm actually very witty, and I do bring stuff back up.
And
so-
I just go around coming on people.
yeah,
That's basically what it is.
Next question.
yeah. No, so I can't remember. What was the first thing you said to me?
I
Ugh.
have
Can I have a
no,
selfie?
no,
No,
because
no.
because can I explain this? I did not want to ask you for a picture.
Because you had no social media to post it on.
Exactly. I
What's the
had
point?
no one to brag to.
Yeah.
No, I didn't even think of asking you for a picture. I knew who you were. I knew that you were a recognisable face and you did YouTube because I watched you. I discovered you when you went on the homepage, your 25 things, and I started watching you regularly from then. So I'd already been watching you. I knew who you were. And I spotted you in this nightclub. And I came up to you and I didn't even think of asking for a picture. I don't know why, but I was just like, I just want to talk to you.
I
Yeah,
always ask him.
yeah,
Give me the
Yeah.
photo now.
yeah. I think you said something about my photo being on the wall in your college. Or
Yeah,
something.
so yeah, I remember because
What?
we both went to the same college.
Oh, City
And,
College.
yeah, City College Norwich. Shitty College Norwich.
Hey,
Hey, I went there as well.
Hey, I actually had a good time there.
I only went there for one lesson.
No.
I had to specifically go there to go and study further maths. It's the kind of guy I am.
Oh, cool. And now you're doing a job that's completely different.
I
and
use
doesn't-
maths
How
all
do
the
you
time.
know? How do you know?
Ooh, do. Yeah, so you said.
So I in the media department in City College was a picture of you. So I think that's probably the
So
first
hold on,
thing I
what's
said.
the picture there for?
Just me and it says
Bet.
ex-Don.
Not a Don anymore.
No, ex-Don of the college.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it was just a picture of me and it just said Ledge.
What? Why is there
doesn't.
actually a picture there?
But
That can't, is it to
it
say
said,
Jaack
like,
mate went here?
a previous student.
Oh.
Jaack mate, literally to like
Fuck
advertise.
off.
Yeah, genuinely.
That's shite.
What?
But it's not even a decent poster. It's a tiny little
How
A4,
sad is
black
that?
and white.
What, are you saying I haven't achieved things, Steve?
No, I'm just saying, like, UEA always brag about having Matt Smith, the old doctor,
Yeah.
Doctor Who there.
If I went
and
to
then
UEA,
City
there'd
College
be a
is
picture
just
of me there. There'd be probably an ivory statue of me in the little shopping centre they have at the UEA. Outside Budgeon's, me there, like that, just dabbing into a Zoella calendar.
into one.
Yeah,
Into
like
Like you're
it.
getting sucked in like Jumanji.
quality.
You undermine any joke if you laugh and then say quality at the end because it just sounds
It
it's like, ha ha.
sounds-
Yeah, quality.
No,
That is so sarcastic.
no, I like it. I say quality when I find things with quality. I don't think I've ever called anything quality that I don't think is not. Did you apparently a few years before I met you and I even knew you existed, you
Yeah.
shouted at me.
I did. This is rather embarrassing to admit, but because
Argumentatively or like Jaack?
no, just like who's that prick?
Yeah, I've
Oh.
seen Jaack get chased down the street by women, like angrily, not like oh my god, like a shit Lynx advert.
Don't ruin it. Don't ruin
Like
it.
a Lynx advert.
Yeah.
No, so so like I said, I'd been watching him
Through my window.
through the window. Your bushes are so comfy.
I know. Comfy
you.
bushes.
She would have seen me and you
Comfy
cuddling
bushes.
quite a lot then.
Yeah, yeah.
I know, I got
Comfy
jealous.
bushes.
I got jealous. Can we move on from my comfy bush comment?
Sorry. Let's
So-
move on from your comfy bush.
So yeah, for all intents and purposes, that's not the right phrase. For all intents,
For the purposes of the pod,
yep.
go.
For the poddy,
Yeah.
I was basically Jack's stalker.
Fuck off.
This is what you tell people when they.
Yeah,
when-
but I say it as a joke. You're now saying
Oh,
that as if
This
okay.
is an actual story now.
Well,
What, so you didn't actually stalk
No,
me?
no, 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 no.
Like, and now you're like,
okay.
what?
Yeah.
Well, Jack doesn't know this, but no. So I knew of his videos. I knew of him. I did think he was attractive. He's funny. Blah 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 blah.
Back then as well, with my jaw and
I
yours.
know.
Your
I'm like, she's fucking lying.
standards are so low.
He was
Anyway,
mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
So I watched your videos for a long time. I knew you lived in Norwich, and I knew, like, I saw your poster in the college, that kind of thing. And I was out in this city.
Not night out though, was it?
No, just out shopping in the city. And I saw you down the road, and I instantly knew it was you because you're rather recognisable. And I was with my boyfriend at the time, and I just shouted Jack. I don't know why. I don't know what I planned to say to you. Probably just like, "You're right," or
Yeah.
just something.
Yeah.
And I shouted over. You didn't turn around. I think I was too far away. And
He just ignored you.
No, I was
Yeah.
actually going to say, like, I genuinely didn't hear.
yeah, probably.
How do I
didn't
know
hear.
though? Because I can't
You
differentiate.
do
this from
ignore
any other
people
time.
sometimes.
Yeah.
But
they're all
I
the
wish
scum out
I
there.
wish I knew who you were with. You're with another guy, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
But my boyfriend at the time said, "Oh yeah, don't you." I haven't told you this. He was like, "Yeah, I know him. Yeah, we're mates. Like he's a prick." And I was like, "Oh, okay." When I broke up with my boyfriend, he was a serial liar. Like looking back, but I believed him at the time. I was like, "Oh, as if."
I was
he's a
about to say it's
prick."
really weird to go, oh yeah, we're mates, he's a prick, but then I just realised we're mates,
Yeah.
you are a prick.
Yeah. What? So
So my boyfriend, because I was gonna like go up, like try and go a bit closer and shout again. He's
Yeah.
like, "Nah, I'm mates with him. Like I know him through. I think he said through skating or something."
Oh,
Skating.
Jack loves skating.
Yeah, and he
Fucking Tony Hawk
the
over
closest
here.
I've ever been to skating is I once listened to Avril Lavigne. apart from that.
yeah, and he was a serial liar. But he claimed that he knew you and that you were a prick. So
That
he
sounds like a
convinced
really
me-
jealous
Well, he got,
thing.
he
like
got
he was
half
scared.
of it right, didn't he? Like, he
You
didn't
are a
know me,
prick.
but yeah, no,
Yeah,
yeah.
so,
Probably, you probably saw me. Thought, yeah, I'm a bit intimidated by his devilishly good looks, and
He was worried you'd instantly leave him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
yeah.
little did he know. A
He-
couple
well,
of years later.
Yeah, but fair enough. He probably saw my poster on the wall. He probably thought, yeah, he's big player around here.
Big
But,
shot.
that's about me. More about you. I want to go back to just because a lot of the viewers don't really know much about you, I guess. So, what was going back way before you met me and stuff like that? What was your childhood like?
Good.
What was you
Had
like?
a-
What
Had a brilliant childhood.
What was you like at school?
'Cause
I-
depends. It's different throughout each school. I feel like you have very different personalities, like throughout all of like primary school, or I went to a infant school and a junior school, and all throughout that I was very good, intelligent. Not to blow my own trumpet, but I was put in like the gifted and what is it? Gifted and talented.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you must have been gifted if you could play your own trumpet. I've tried and I cannot.
So when did it all go wrong?
Yeah.
Um,
No, because you went to a lot of schools, didn't you?
I did.
And I always thought that, you know, that one kid at school that would go to a lot of different schools. I always used to think something's up.
Mm.
Do you know
And
what I
it
mean?
is.
Well, what was up?
Me.
What was wrong? Did you not get on with people?
No. So I went to my infant school. I went to my junior school. Went to high school. Went to a really, really rough high school. Really, really bad reputation. And a teacher slept with a student.
Yeah, but that
and
happens
someone,
at every school.
And then someone got stabbed, so I decided to move school.
Did anything happen to you there then?
No, I mean
She
well,
stabbed people, but other than that.
and I had sex with the teacher.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
That's why I had to move schools.
What did you want to be when you were little?
I wanted to when I was really little, say before the age of about 6, I wanted to do something with animals, and I still do. I love animals so
Watch
much.
them on YouTube.
Yeah.
That is why I spend all day, every day watching
Watch them.
animal gifs.
Yeah,
okay.
When
This
I
is
was little, I
why.
just wanted to be 6 foot.
I can't remember. I can't remember anything I thought before the age of 6.
Jaack has this weird thing. He said this to me before. He doesn't remember being a child. He has like no school memories. I'm like, how?
I don't have too many. I have one or two. I have a few.
Do
But
you?
I have
yeah, nothing
loads.
amazing.
I think you need some things to like trigger it, and it'll come back.
When somebody says, "Oh, do you remember that when you got that big duck from Asda?" I remember stuff like that.
You said that as if we should know what you're talking
Yeah,
my
about.
dad bought-
everyone knows the big duck, right?
Like that's my earliest memory, but I reckon I was still about 6 then. Like I wanted a big duck from Asda, and my dad went in and bought it for me, and I was buzzing.
My mum for a while was one of the dinner ladies in my first school, and I
Your
used to.
nanny was as well,
Yeah,
weren't she?
my nan worked in the preschool, so I used to.
I think I remember
we went to the
her.
same first school, didn't we?
I
Yeah.
remember her, I think. So I must remember some things from my childhood.
Yeah.
Exactly. See, that's what
Good
I mean.
old-
You just need your memory jogged.
Mrs. Cox.
Yeah, Mrs. Cox,
Yeah.
my old nanny. She's still my nanny. Nan,
She was
grandma.
She was only called that after I met her.
Oh, you met her in preschool.
You are vile.
Yeah.
You are a vile,
That wasn't the
vile
only thing that
man.
was pre.
Oh, you are fucking grim.
Sorry.
But I remember my mum was a
Pre-cum.
yeah, we got that.
Thank you for clarifying.
My mum was a dinner lady just at my first school, and I'd used to purposefully get in trouble at lunch so that not a dinner lady, she did something with like the naughty kids at lunch, so I used to purposefully get in trouble just so I could spend more time with my mum.
Really?
And I'd refuse to ever call her like Mrs. White. I had to think Miss White, and I'd just be like, Mum, Mum.
My mum worked at my infant school.
Really?
Yeah. She worked there, and so for 2 years when I went there, she was there, and we used to pass each other in the corridor, and I'd go, "Hi, mummy," and she'd be like, "Go on, hey, go,
Fuck off.
fuck off. Who are you, little offspring?"
I thought school time was when we didn't have to see you.
Yeah.
Do one. So you wanted to be
Yeah. So when
an
I was
animal.
really no.
Something with animals.
Yeah.
Just didn't want to
So
be an
I
animal.
wanted to be a bird. No, I wanted to be a vet. Then I got older and I got into dancing and gymnastics. And my absolute passion, which is something that I was really serious about, was becoming a choreographer, a dance choreographer.
How does this with animals?
Yeah.
No!
She teaches animals to dance.
I teach dogs to dance.
You could be like the choreographer on Cats, the musical, then you win-win.
You know they're people, right?
They're just dressed as animals,
Yeah,
Jack.
but moonlight, all alone with the moon.
Singing a song doesn't change them into animals.
All right, so you wanted to be a dance choreographer and you wanted
Yeah.
to work with animals.
Yeah,
You work in retail now.
thanks.
Now, I mean, why? What's stopping you from doing one of those things?
What, real? Genuinely?
Yeah.
Well, I did dance from, I don't know the age I started, until the age of 14. And I did loads of different types: ballet, tap, modern, jazz, lyrical, acro. Like, we're talking anything and everything.
Mm.
Lyrical dance.
Yeah.
Singing.
No,
What's
it's
lyrical
a dance style.
Is that to be literal about the words?
Is that where you dance the like if you do baby you have
No,
to
it's just like baby shark.
Well,
no.
Is that lyrical?
No, darling.
Right,
No.
What's that?
No. Should take the piss. Lyrical is just like floaty and gentle. I don't
Weird.
know how to explain it.
Anyway,
to be
carry on. That was just intriguing.
And
Is it so a dab is lyrical?
definitely not.
No. Okay.
No.
It's
Sorry.
like Marina Joyce.
Did you just dab to the tune of Baby Jaack? Did you?
I think it might be the
And
worst
this is
thing.
why you should be watching on YouTube
Yeah.
rather than.
For the audio people,
Oh.
please just go over to YouTube and just type in that just to watch.
I think this
that.
may be the worst thing I've ever done.
What, Fiona or?
No, this podcast.
Thanks.
Sorry. Yeah. So why don't you do them now?
Because when I was 14, I was at a dance show, and so with a dance show, you perform for 2 days. You have the rehearsal on Friday, and you perform on the Saturday and the Sunday. This was the Saturday, so our first live proper show, and I was backstage getting changed with my mum, and I bent down to tie up one of my shoelaces, and a searing pain went through my knee, and I told my mum, and she was like, "Oh well, you've probably just overworked it. You've been dancing constantly with the rehearsals and the show and everything." So we brushed it off, and then after the show was finished on the Sunday, maybe this was on the Monday or something, I was like, "Mum, my knee still really hurts," and she said, "Okay, well, show me." And I showed her, and one of my left knee had ballooned. It was massive, swollen. So she took me to the doctors, and I was 14. I wasn't thinking anything serious. I was just like, oh, I've overworked it. I've been dancing constantly, and loads and loads of ridiculous amount of tests later, I got diagnosed with arthritis in my knee.
It's weird, isn't it?
So
was gonna
that
say,
was the end of my dance career.
Before it even begun.
Basically, yeah.
I thought a lot of people assume that only old people get arthritis.
Exactly. That's why it was such a shock, because I also had a swollen thumb. So I've got arthritis in my left knee and my right thumb.
That's very weird.
Really specific.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, very strange. It's usually asymmetrical as well. So if you have it on this side, somewhere else you'll have it on this side.
Did they say how it happened? It obviously wasn't tying your laces, was it? That
yeah,
was just
no. So I don't really understand much about it, but it's to do with your blood, your immune system. It's all very, very strange.
Mm.
But yeah, like you said, Jack, you think that it's old people that get arthritis. And I was like, I said to the doctor, I was like, I'm 14. I can't have arthritis. And he was like, oh, no, it's common. I was like, but I'm 14. How can I have arthritis? Especially when I'm an active, I don't just sit there and I don't live a sedentary life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? And I'm active and I dance. So how can I have this illness in my knee? And I was absolutely devastated. I remember crying and crying and crying.
Do you remember your mum thought it was something more serious, or she got told
Yeah.
it could have been?
So I don't remember much about it. I feel like I've blotted this out of my memory because it was so awful at the time. But when they were doing all these tests on me, because I had this weird swollen knee, swollen joints, all these kind of tests, I'd have eye tests, blood tests, everything. Years later, my mum told me that they were actually testing for leukemia at the time, but luckily, thankful she didn't tell me, and so thankful I didn't have that.
Because you're obviously that's bad, but you're somebody that you don't take well to, like, no one would take well to knowing, and I'm not saying that, like, oh, you might have leukemia, fair enough. See ya. Welcome back to the Happy Hour podcast. But no, but you're someone that don't deal well with anything like that,
No,
are you?
no.
I remember Fiona actually fainted on our first date. I
Yep.
had never seen anyone faint.
Do you not know the story?
No.
Naturally seen anyone faint. The only time up until that point in my life when I'd seen people faint,
Was when you drugged them.
no, is when they did that game at school where everyone started fainting.
The passing
Do you remember
out.
the fad where you'd like
Yeah.
put your hands on your knees and go,
Yeah,
and
try
then you
and
stand
faint.
up and you press your chest. Next thing you
Yeah.
know, boom, you wake
Yes.
up on the floor. Yeah.
First date, let me guess, Nando's.
Nah.
No.
Nando's.
Nando's.
Much more higher class than that.
Spoons.
No, think of a movie,
Cinema.
cinema, yeah,
Yeah.
but think about what movie it could have
What
been.
movie might we have watched on our first date?
Down, da, da, down. I
That's
can
what-
feel it, baby.
That's
What's
no.
that song? What is that song? Let's get it on.
Yeah.
That's a hint. That's a hint. That's a sexy song. What's a
50
sex-
Shades.
Yes.
You went and
Yes.
watched 50 Shades, the
Yeah.
first one.
Yep,
Yeah.
at the cinema.
How
So
was
this
that?
was on Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, 2015. I think it
Although,
was.
do you remember
Yep.
that when we got to the
Yep.
cinema, you know what I'm gonna say?
Yep.
He had lovely surprise for me, booked tickets to see 50 Shades of Grey on Valentine's Day. We got there, we tried to print out our tickets, didn't work. So we had to call over an assistant. Oh yeah, Jack. You've booked these for the 13th.
Oh, you're a fucking
Yeah,
idiot.
yeah. But I wasn't really used to sort of like booking cinema tickets. I usually get invited to the premiere, so. No, only joking. So yeah, I booked them to the wrong one, so I went very red in the face. I was very awkward, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry," but luckily they changed them for us.
Yeah.
And
we
so
got it sorted.
big up yourself, Odeon. You sorted me out.
Thank you, Odeon
But
Norwich.
we went and watched 50 Shades of Grey. I hated everything about it. And then on the way back, because I couldn't drive and Fiona could, so this is embarrassing, we needed to get back, didn't we? Because we thought we might have a couple of beers and stay out.
Yeah.
But we didn't. But anyway, so we didn't have a car. So we got my granddad to pick me up. Good old Tell.
In his Mitsubishi Shogun.
Mitsubishi Shogun. And
Very romantic.
I got in the front. Fiona got in the back.
Yeah. First date. He
Should've sat in the back with me, Dad.
front with his granddad. I sat in the back with the ladder and the height of his
I
vest.
sat in the front. All right, granddad. Yeah.
Didn't say another word to
Yeah.
Fiona.
No.
No, he went, "How was the movie?" I went, "That's not."
I was just texting my mates like, please save me.
Did you?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
When
I
she
love
got that
you.
call through, going, "What? You've been in a crash?" Oh, I've been in
Yeah. So and then my granddad dropped us off where your car was parked.
Yeah.
And you left your thumb in the door, didn't you?
Yeah, so I got out of Jack's granddad's car and shut the door and went to walk away. And I got stuck. And I felt something pulling on my hand. I looked back. I had shut my thumb in the car door.
Mate, and it was on the nail, yeah? So it was like bang on the nail bed. And to this day, Fiona has a dodgy nail.
Yeah.
Like,
You can't feel it.
you've obviously got your nails painted at the moment, so you
yeah,
can't see
I'm
it.
trying to peel it off anyway. But yeah, it's dodgy. It's essentially not attached to the nail bed, just in the middle.
Yeah, it's like a dead nail. But
Yeah.
so Fiona went bang like that, like, oh shit, and it started to trickle blood down her thumb.
Yeah.
And I obviously couldn't drive, so she started to drive back to her mum's house.
I had a towel in my car that I used to wipe my window, so I just wrapped my thumb in my thumb in the towel.
and it was
just
throbbing,
drove
wasn't
home.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, the drive home back to my mum and dad's house was only
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Did you go with her, or did you just?
Yeah,
go?
so I'm
No,
there.
we just
yeah.
stayed
so,
chatting with granddad.
So I'm there, and I'd only previously, I think, up until that point, met your mum and dad once each at the same time. And you were driving, and you were like, I saw. I was like, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. You'll be home in a bit. And then you were going, I feel like I'm gonna faint. I was thinking, what? Faint over hitting your thumb? Like, I don't get it. Like, I've never seen anyone do that. I was like, we haven't even played the game, like the breathing game. And then you got home and you walked in and you showed your mum, and your mum made you put your thumb under the tap,
The cold water.
and then she fainted, and it was a proper faint. And then you hit the floor, and then your four limbs went really stiff. Your hands were pressed against your knees, like down. You were like, it was like a zombie, like a bolt of lightning going through you, and you went back on the floor, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was thinking, is she dying? Like, I literally don't know what's happening.
Did
and
you
then,
really think I was dying
and then your dad-
over my thumb
but I
being?
didn't know if it was the same thing. I didn't know if you were having a
Wow.
heart attack. I'd never seen anyone do that.
Oh,
So
you've never told me that.
you were on the floor, and your dad was like comforting you, putting a pillow under you. You just and your mum came up to me and went, "Have you given her any drugs?" And I was like, "What?" I was like, "We've been to see 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh my
Like, I haven't given her
God.
any drugs since the first night I roofied her." But yeah, so then there was the second time I saw you faint.
Mm-hmm.
That was when we were at your sister Charlie's husband's house. Well, that's
Well,
their
it's
house.
their house, yeah.
But we was watching her sister's husband Kyle used to be in Afghanistan fighting, and in the army, not just fighting. Over
Just
there.
going over there,
He was just
beating
like a
people up.
brawler, yeah. What do you fucking want, son? Do you, Taliban? But no, he went over there and he had a helmet on. He was in the desert, and it was like the most stereotypical Afghanistan video you can imagine.
Yeah,
wasn't
so
it?
we were at my sister's house, and he was showing us a video.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so he was showing us a video, and he was like, "Yeah, this is where I nearly get shot." So he's just walking with his mate, and then you just that's all you hear. That's that, and then they both fall to the floor, and they're laughing. And
In
they-
the video.
Yeah, in the video, and they're laughing, and I was like, "What's that?" He's like, "That's the bullet going past my helmet cam," and I was like, "No way." I was like, "Why are you laughing?" He's like, "That's just an instinct, like a reaction. We didn't know what to do. Like, otherwise you're gonna cry." And I was sat on the chair watching over Kyle's shoulder, and Fiona was watching behind.
Like leaning on Jack's
Yeah,
chair.
and then I just hear poof like that, and I look, and again all the limbs tight like that. on the floor.
And I'd fainted.
And I was like, what? And I went and got her sister, and her sister had come up, and she didn't come around for about 6 minutes.
Did I
Yeah,
not?
but
I like that you went, what? Just an instinct.
I got the vlogging camera out. Guys, I'm here with
Great
Fiona. Ish.
content. And you had a little green hat on, didn't you?
Yeah. But no, but that was weird because I didn't know people actually fainted.
Do you think it would just happen in
I think
movies?
it just got made up one day.
I just thought it was a bit
Fake news.
hypochondriac-ish.
Wow.
Like people overreact. Like my
Mm.
dad fainted once because he got in the bath and it was too hot.
To be fair, men cannot handle hot baths. The difference in temperature that women like their baths is insane.
No, that's different for us, isn't
I
it?
disagree. Jack
I have
loves
a hotter
hot
bath
bath.
than Fiona.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Because you're in it.
Yeah.
Oh, that was disgusting.
Only because you don't fancy me.
He's my what?
You make sure you wear a mask when you fuck me.
Why do I wear them?
not even a blindfold.
I don't fancy
Yeah.
you, so I wear a mask.
A little Batman mask.
The
No.
real reason you wanted to borrow it.
Yeah, and then like I said to Lawrence when he came on, because you had anxiety or
Mm.
have anxiety or
Mhm.
whatever you call it.
You
No,
are bloody lovely.
No, I pretend I don't care, but I do. And that was when you had a panic attack on Covent Garden's floor,
Yeah.
and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like,
We
I'd-
hadn't been together long at that point. and we were
about
in
6 months.
a trip to London, weren't we?
Yeah, I don't think that was the first time you ever had a panic attack, but I without. I'm going to run the risk of sounding like a knob here, but it is what it is. Like when you had a panic attack out and about, like out clubbing, I
Mhm.
thought because you're not a drinker, you don't drink really, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Not properly, do you? So when you come out and you would drink, and like, because not being when people who aren't drinkers try and keep up with people that are drinkers,
Yeah.
they can get way more drunk.
Yeah.
So you would come out and try and keep up, and then have a panic attack.
Mm.
But I thought that was a result of you being drunk.
Right.
And I didn't know what kind of drunk you was. Do you know what I mean? So when you're like shaking, cold, like I think, oh, that's just you're cold, you're drunk, you feel ill.
Mm.
And then when it happened in Covent Garden, and there wasn't any drink involved,
Mm.
I was like, holy shit,
This is real.
this is a thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that was when I first discovered that.
I wasn't lying about my anxiety.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not saying lying.
First she faked a fucking fainting, now
Yeah,
she's
no,
faking panic attacks.
But you can understand why I think it, because I'm somebody that has never, luckily, fainted or never had
You've
anxiety.
never fainted.
Well, not apart from doing that stupid game in the playground. But I never fainted. I've never had anxiety. I've never had a panic attack. I've never been depressed. I'm very lucky. So anytime somebody says something like that, it's hard for somebody, especially as a younger guy. I'm 21 at this point. It's hard to empathize with that person because you don't. It's alien to you.
Yeah.
It's alien.
I suppose so. I can see that.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like saying, "Oh, don't you hate it when your knob hurts?" Do you know what I mean? You're not going to sit there going, "Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah."
Can I just quickly
Sure.
ask, when
Oh.
you're saying that, does it just happen often or like just randomly?
No, I don't. My knob doesn't hurt. I don't know why I'm calling it a knob because I never do that. Penis.
Don't
you know what I
hate it
mean?
when
Like-
your penis
No, I
hurts?
don't know what you mean.
But yeah, so no, that kind of being with you opened my eyes to people, to mental health in that way. So
Mm.
that's a positive from a negative.
I'm
For you?
glad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
get the positive there.
Well, no, because I've learnt to help you in those
Yeah,
situations.
to be fair, you have been beyond fantastic. And
There we go. That's going on a
Thanks.
CV.
Put it
Oh.
on the CV.
Like you never get a job.
That's going in my Twitter bio. Jack, mate, beyond fantastic. I like that. I like that a lot.
Oh.
Right. After the break, we're going to come back and we're going to speak to Fiona about what it's like being with an internet sensation.
She's not with Alex.
See you in a sec. There we go. We are back in the room. You're back here, like a hypnotist. You're back in the room. Stevie's here.
What a fucking shit intro.
No,
That's
no.
awful.
Fiona, you're back in the room.
I'm not going along with this.
Okay, cool. So, we've been together 4 years now.
Yes.
What's the best thing that we've ever done? In your opinion. It'd be
Okay.
funny to see if we have the same one. It'd be like Mr. and Mrs., but we could cheat because we're both going to take turns in answering instead of revealing a paddle.
Oh,
with
we
the
could
answer.
have played Mr. and Mrs.
We should have done
Ah,
that. But
and
then
third wheel.
And also, well, no, Jack and I have already done Mr. and Mrs. on his channel,
he,
so
he could have been a
Me
ref. though.
too.
He could have been a ref. So what's the best thing that's ever happened? Or not? That's a very broad question.
Mm.
What has been your favourite memory of our relationship?
I just think any Christmas that we spent together
Yeah.
has been special.
Yeah.
Any Christmas in particular? Anything where one of the Christmases something big happened? Or...
No, I can't think of anything at all that's happened on Christmas.
You are a fan of Christmas though, aren't you?
I love Christmas.
But
I hate winter. Hate it, but I love Christmas.
That's where we differ.
Yeah, Jaack hates summer. I hate winter.
Yeah, that's because he's a ginger with bloody...
Hay
I was
fever.
going to say
Thank you.
hepatitis instead of...
You don't know I haven't
The
got that, so it's
internet
fine.
doesn't need to know that.
No, I hate winter. No, I love winter. You hate winter.
Yeah.
And vice versa with summer. But Christmas got boring for me. Christmas got boring with me, and then I met you, and then it got fun again.
Aww.
Oh, this is disgusting.
No.
That is so
Why is this all
sweet.
soppy?
No, but it's not soppy. But I'm just saying, like, it got a bit boring. I was doing the same shit for 21 years, like that. And then I met your family, and they still love Christmas. Like,
Yeah.
your mum's like a 12-year-old at Christmas. So that was nice because then I had something new to do, something fresh, and because I always loved Christmas as a kid. So it
You
was
grow out of it though, don't you?
you do grow out of it. Yeah, no, but that's the
No.
thing. I thought and I didn't think you could ever recapture the Christmas magic again. But we definitely done that last year.
Yeah. My family are massive on Christmas.
They are big
Yeah.
Christmas fans, big
Yeah.
Christmas fans in their family.
Yeah.
When your dad's not googling cocks.
What?
We need some context.
Yeah, I was
for
going to
this,
say,
please,
why is he
Jack.
searching for pictures of my nanny?
No. So her dad is the antithesis of my dad. Right. So my dad is
No, that's not the word, right?
the antithesis. The antithesis is the complete opposite of something.
Is that what that means?
Yeah.
Okay. fair
I'm good with my words. All right.
You
Good with
said
my
that.
words.
101 is
so-
apparently.
I did say that.
It's going to be context everywhere.
Yeah.
My dad is slightly chavvy, I guess you'd say. He works in a factory.
Does that make him chatty?
He's from London.
Okay.
He's a man's man.
Yeah, he's a man's man like that. Basically fucking hates the gays, doesn't he? No, I'm joking. He doesn't. He doesn't. But your dad is a very well-spoken, worked in a decent job.
Mhm.
He's a Christian man, doesn't swear, doesn't like anything, any obscenities really. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And it was funny because one of the first times I met her dad, because he's a bit bumbling as well, isn't he? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
that's fair to say.
sometimes he gets things wrong. Like he'll say like aminals and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Like
he struggles with the word.
he's a fair bit older than my dad as well. Like my dad's 48. How old's your dad?
67.
67. So
That's quite old.
19 years older than my dad. Yeah. But anyway, so he came down one time and Fiona's mum said to her dad, or to Fiona's dad, I can say his first name, can't I? Oh, Steve, how come every time after you
What?
How come after every time you use the laptop I can't see the history thingy? Right? And he went, I don't know, dear. I don't really use the laptop apart from googling cocks. Right, so I'm there almost spat my tea all over their kitchen. I'm like, what? Like that. And then he's like, yeah, he knows everything about science.
Oh, Brian Cox.
Yeah. But I was like, why have you done
Why
that?
did my dad choose to say Google?
But he's so innocent that he didn't know what
He
googling
did, yeah, he
cocks
wasn't
meant.
saying it to be silly or funny. Or
Oh.
he just had no idea. He was
Mm.
You say that, he does delete the history.
Yeah,
so-
yeah, true. But then there was another time when you were ill, and can I say this on here as well?
Sure.
And we'd been up in her room all day because she was genuinely like had a cold or a bit fluey or whatever. And then we went downstairs and we were having dinner, and I was sat there eating, and Fiona's mum looked at her and went, Fiona, you were coughing, weren't you?
Mm.
And you went, oh, I've got a sore throat. And then your mum went, I'm not surprised. You went upstairs blowing all day. Obviously, been blowing her nose.
Innocently again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was there again. Another second time, just spat over your walls. Like that,
Oh.
tea everywhere. Yeah.
Not a vaginal walls.
That is so vile, Stevie.
What's a vagina wall?
Vaginal walls. The walls inside of it. You need to do some biology.
I wouldn't ever call it a vagina. I wouldn't say a vagina's got walls.
Yeah,
do
the
you think it's
inside
just
is walls.
There's
It's not just an
walls.
empty space once you get in.
It's just a cavern.
Just quite well.
Why are we talking about
for some it is.
vaginas?
I don't know.
Welcome to happy hour.
Oh.
What's the best thing that's ever happened?
It doesn't need to involve Jaack, just in your
Yeah,
life.
just in general.
No, like in our relationship.
The proposal is pretty special.
Yeah.
Of course.
That obviously happened this Christmas, didn't
Yeah.
it? Should we tell people
Christmas
how
Day.
that happened?
Go for it.
Because I did feel.
Yeah, if only you uploaded a video on your main channel.
I
about
missed
it.
the boat, mate. I missed the boat because the ring broke, didn't it?
Yeah.
I propo-
Jack got me a really cheap, crappy cracker ring, and the diamond fell out.
20p ring.
No. Oh, you're
Fuming.
giving me a death stare.
Yeah. No, because proposed on Christmas Day just gone. What, 2018. And the ring. Oh, I filmed the whole process because it was like a month-long process. The idea, wasn't it?
Mhm.
So I filmed the whole thing, and I was going to upload it, but Fiona's ring actually broke 3 days after the proposal.
Yeah.
So what is the point in us filming a video if she can't actually show the ring in it? That'd be weird. And no, the stars didn't align, so I never really got
It
round
was
to
a
doing
very, very long process to get a new ring or get the ring fixed.
Yeah, it's only just now been fixed, isn't it?
Mhm.
But that wrong has been righted, so it's all good. But so I proposed on Christmas Day. I was going to upload the video. Still got the footage. Still got the loads of it. If enough people want to see it, I will post it at some point. But it's very festive. The video is very festive.
Yeah.
So if I post that in March, it's going to be a bit weird, isn't it? But do you want to tell people how it came to be?
I knew nothing about the proposal until Jack gave me an advent calendar on the start of December, and he'd made this advent calendar. It was like a giant poster.
Was that A1 or A2 or something? It was huge.
It was
wasn't
huge, yeah. And it had a lovely picture of me and Jack on it, and all these doors. And behind each door that I'd open each day, it had like a little riddle, and then I'd solve the riddle, and the answer was a place or somewhere in the house. And then hidden in that place in the house was that day's present. So I got loads of lovely things, you know, the chocolates, the pajamas, dressing gowns, smellies, all sorts of things.
Sushi.
Sushi.
Yeah, that was one.
Sushi.
Yeah, that's funny
That
though.
was my favourite.
Well, it's mad because there was like bath bombs. Some presents were better than others. Like, so one day there might just be like a bag of sweets or something like that. But then another day there might be like the new Sims download expansion pack. So some things were better than others, but it was an advent calendar, and I filmed Fiona's reaction to opening every one of these doors and writing in the answer and going to the location and getting the thing out. And when one of the things, her favourite food is sushi.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the times I ordered loads of sushi on Deliveroo and from Yo Sushi and put loads of fruit in it and made a platter. And that was the only time she cried. She cried over raw fish. Mental.
I
That's
love
quite weird.
sushi.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, you were opening the doors, weren't you?
Yeah, so I just thought, but I thought this was an advent calendar. I thought nothing else of it. And it got to Christmas Day, and Jack had done an advent calendar up to 25 days because he's not a cheapskate.
Yeah.
He did
A
the
real
whole,
calendar.
an actual proper calendar.
Mm.
We don't do 12 doors here, do we?
Oi.
And
Sassy.
so I opened, we got a little bit behind because of Christmas. So on Christmas Day, I was sitting down with Jack in the living room, and I opened just a few doors up towards the final door. And Jack had set up a camera to film it. And I didn't think anything of that because he filmed the whole process anyway. And so I thought nothing of that. But he was hurrying me a bit. And I thought, why are we hurrying? This is the end of Christmas Day. It's in the evening. We've got nothing, we're just chilling. Why are you hurrying me a bit? And so I was getting a little bit confused. And then the 25th door, the final door, I opened that. And it had the riddle in it. And it said basically to take the first letter of each clue, 1 to 25.
Of each answer.
Each answer, sorry, to the riddles. 1 to 25, and what does that spell out? So my first thought is...
Fuck, I can't spell.
Oh my God, I'm going to have to do some work. No, my first thought, I didn't think of a ring or anything. I thought, wow, that's genius. That is so clever. That is so clever.
She was amazed.
Mm.
I was so
You came up with
impressed.
Yeah. Fiona South, will you marry me? And then where you write all the answers in for each day. Day 25 had 3 boxes, didn't it? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Did you say that? Sorry.
No, you've skipped a bit. Can I go back?
Okay, yeah, go back.
So I'm just saying like what I thought at each moment.
Oh, okay,
Yeah?
yeah, cool.
So I was absolutely blown away. The next thing that I thought of was, So I started to spell it out, and it started with my name, Fiona South. And
So because it was like fridge,
yeah,
fridge,
fridge,
and then ice tray,
oven, near the door.
yeah, stuff like that. So
Stuff like that.
everyone, yeah, it was like an anagram, wasn't it?
So I was spelling it out. My first thought, so I didn't know what this last present was, but knowing Jaack, it would be something big, something amazing. So I thought it was a holiday or something. So then I started spelling it out. It said Fiona South, and I was like, no, like, this isn't a holiday. There's only one question that starts with my full name, including my surname.
No,
Anal.
it could have been a holiday.
Fuck's sake.
No, it could
That's
have,
next year.
yeah, no, it could have been Fiona South. Want to go Tenerife?
Fiona South. Ibiza.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's spelled out Fiona South, will you marry me? I'm getting a bit emotional. And I was just absolutely, because I did not expect it at all. I had no idea. There was no hints or anything. I didn't have any inkling. We hadn't talked about it or had the, I didn't know.
There was one time when because obviously it's there in black and white for me. When she's filling in the answers, I can see it. She's writing in the answers, and she's written fridge, IONA, and I'm reading it across as filming her reaction, and then you kind of like looked across like the board, so you sort of like went from the F to the I to the O, and I'm thinking fuck, because if you work it out before the day,
Yeah.
it fucks the whole operation.
Yeah, because I'd get to will you ma, and
Yeah,
I'd be like, okay.
and then you'd be like, and then when it comes on Christmas Day, your reaction's not going to be as genuine.
Yeah.
And then but then I kind of thought like you go to one, then you go, but you're looking to see if there's any you've missed. So I was like, fuck. So when she left, I thought she's not going to remember what clue was what day. So I just scattered some of the doors around again.
Oh, okay.
And it was only until we got to door 24 when she was due to open the last one on Christmas Day that I had to go through, put them all in order. And then yeah, so you read it and it spelled out Fiona South, will you marry me? And you cried and cried and cried and cried and
I
cried.
did. Happy tears.
Yeah.
I was going to
am
say,
not like,
and then said no.
Yeah.
I'm so devastated right now.
And yeah, so you got the ring, and then 3 days later, what happened?
So back to work 3 days later, in the office at work, and I was just playing with the ring, and it felt really spiky, really sharp. So I looked down, and the diamond had fallen out.
That's mental, isn't it?
Crazy. 3 days after having it.
And it's not a cheap ring. Do you know what I
No,
mean?
it was a
Engagement
proper-
rings aren't cheap.
But you found the diamond.
Yeah, so my colleague found the diamond on the floor.
That's so lucky.
so fucking.
Did they
So,
say what
so
would have happened
lucky.
if you didn't have the diamond with it?
I don't know. We'd have no proof. We probably couldn't have taken it back. But it's like, good job the bloody diamond was so big. Do you know what I mean? It stood out. I'm joking.
Oh.
It's not. It's a tiny diamond. It's in a
Yeah,
little
the
ring.
fact that my colleague found it is crazy. So
That's lucky.
So lucky. So yeah, we've managed to sort out the engagement ring and get a lovely replacement. But so that's probably why we haven't done the video.
Yeah. So I don't know. Where that footage is ever going to lie, or if it'll ever see the light of day. But,
I'd love for you to make it into a video just for us to have it.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll do that. Like when we go to America and all these holidays, I vlog every single day. I vlog every single day. Vlog everything we do, and it never goes up. And people think it's a waste of time, but it's not, because I put it on a hard drive and then I have all the footage there. Yes, I would love to make a mini little docu-film that I could have and people could see, because it would be epic. Like, we filmed everything we do, and we do some mad stuff. But it's going to take me a couple of weeks to edit that, and 2 weeks of not doing anything apart from that won't make me any money. This is my job now. This is the kind of like the hindrance to when a hobby that you love becomes your job. You have to prioritize the things that then help you financially. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, so there we go. Do you going back to just what we were talking about and that? Do you find it weird that when the people recognize you now?
Yes, very strange. Never get used to it. It's happened not loads. Because if I'm out with you, they'll go to you, obviously. But it has happened. I can think of at least 3 or 4 times
When you're not even been
when
with me?
I'm not with you. Once I was with my mum, just in Boots or a makeup shop or something, and a young girl came up to me and she said, "Excuse me, like, are you Jaack mate's girlfriend?" And my mum was just like, "What is going on? Like, have you staged this?
That is
What
quite mental,
this?"
because because you're not on social media.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you had Instagram, I'm sure it'd happen a lot more.
Yeah.
But like, because you're not, it's only based on anything you post.
Yeah.
So if anything, it kind of comes out good on you again, which I kind of don't want to say, but it's only because you're known enough that someone can then see Fiona
Yeah.
because she doesn't have her own social
Yeah.
media.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If not, I could be completely off the internet.
do you
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it or not?
Yeah. I don't dislike it. It's just strange. It very, very strange because it's like you know me just because of who I'm in a relationship with,
Mm.
which is rather strange. Another instance was at an old job that I worked in, sort of like a theme park that was for younger children, you know, like toddler, sort of really young children. And a mum came up to the entrance to get admission tickets. And she did a double take at me. She was a mum with like 2 toddlers, and she was
Was
like,
she a young man?
no, average age, not like, you know, of extremely young mum. And she recognised me. She was like, are you that YouTuber's girlfriend? And I was like thinking, well, your toddlers don't watch him.
Yeah.
You seem a little bit too, you know, not the
Yeah.
target demographic. I found that really strange that she recognised
That is
me.
unusual.
But yeah, we had a lovely gossip about you.
Lovely. So that doesn't make you want to start making your own channel, because a lot of people online stan you more than they stan me, whatever that means. But people say that. Does that ever make you tempted to make your own channel?
No,
Why?
because I like supporting you in what you do. I feel like if I did my own thing, it would be too much.
Maybe not at the time. But then you do support me well when we do like events like Summer in the City and stuff like that.
Oh,
You're like a lifesaver.
I love going to those because I'm not too comfortable. I don't know. I don't find myself too comfortable being on camera. I'm not, I guess, not a natural like you are, but going to places like Summer in the City and any kind of meetup, I love because everyone's so friendly.
You do end up speaking to the viewers more than I do, really,
Yeah,
because
I
I'm
love meeting everyone.
I only get like a very short amount of time with each one, but
Yeah.
then you'll stand in the queue and speak to all of them in the
Yeah.
queue. So I think a lot of people really appreciate that, and they see how kind you are, and they enjoy it. So
Oh, that's good. I'm glad.
yeah, thanks for helping me with all that.
No problem.
We've actually got to wrap this up, which is a shame because it had been lovely to have done longer. A lot of people asked you a lot of questions on Twitter and stuff like that,
Mhm.
but we've actually run out of studio time. So we need to get you back on if you want to do another one in the future.
Let the audience decide.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they'll want that. But yeah, Fiona, it's been fun. Thank you for coming on. And
Thank you for having me.
I've learnt some things about you that I didn't know. So
Oh dear.
yeah, there we go. This has been the Happy Hour podcast with Fiona and Stevie. We will see you again very, very soon over on youtube.com/Happy Hour podcast, or on iTunes or any other podcast provider. Just go on and whack in Jaack Makes Happy Hour. This has been a very, very fun one. And this is usually the point in the show in which I would link the guest's social media, but Fiona doesn't have any. So if you want to support Fiona in all of her ventures,
Support Jaack.
Follow me.
Make,
What?
make a petition and let her become a vet, because that's your dream, isn't it? If not, if you've got any animals out there that she can cuddle, I'm sure that'll do.
Oh, that would make my day.
There we go. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.